What's up everyone, welcome to the Merciful Metal channel. My name is Thomas and this video is going to be a response video. It has been a while since this video was made, the original, but it was the Do I Still Hate These Records video by Metal Mickey. It's been a while, but I really wanted to do a response because it was a fun video, a fun, interesting topic that made me think. So I've been searching for some records that I remember hating and see if I still hate them now. That was the original video that Metal Mickey did. So if you don't know Mike, go to his channel, check out his video. It's hilarious. And I wanted to do my own take, so here we go. Now, the idea speaks for itself. Do I still hate these records? I believe Mike picked 3 records that he talked about, so I picked 3 as well. And the first one, we're just gonna dive right in. The first one is from 1991. It's the second record of death metal band Morbid Angel, Blessed Are the Sick. Now, my hate towards this record, and I mean hate, like really disliking, hate is a strong word, except for the last record. But yeah, I really didn't like this record, and it has mostly to do with Altars of Madness, because when I discovered this record, I was already totally obsessed with Altars of Madness. It was like my all-time favorite death metal record, still kind of is today, at least very high up. Covenant as well, I really enjoyed Covenant. It was like commercial polished death metal, but I really enjoyed that record. And in between was Blessed Are the Sick, which just didn't do it for me. Like it has these very Trey Azektot weird kind of riff things going on. If you know like the later Morbid Angel, you know what I mean. These really dreamy, trippy, doomy kind of riffs. And I feel like those were already like starting to appear on Blessed Are the Sick, and I wasn't really ready for that. As well as like inconsistent vocals. I feel like I'm the only one who noticed this about Blessed Are the Sick, but I feel like the vocals are not consistent. I feel like David Vincent was kind of doing 2 takes of vocals, because it's a little different depending on the song. I don't know if it's just me, but that also like I didn't like that, you know, especially like enjoying Altars of Madness so much. It was kind of weird to me. It was off-putting. So yeah, I remember just really like hating this record, but listening back to it, I was wrong. It really has like thrashy, like that Altars of Madness kind of thrashy death metal moments, especially with songs like Thy Kingdom Come, old school Morbid Angel, fantastic. So listening back to this record, I was proven wrong. At least now I enjoy this. So do I still hate this record? No. I don't have it in my collection yet, and I will definitely pick the vinyl of Blessed Are the Sick if I ever come across it. So yeah, do I hate this? Do I still hate this record? No. Second one was also in my memory, kind of a record that I hated. It was from my thrash metal phase, almost like 10 years ago, when I really started to discover thrash metal. This was one record that eventually popped up, and I remember just hating it. It's the debut record from, I believe they're from Texas, thrash metal band Rigor Mortis. and their self-titled debut from 1988. This record, it's kind of different than I was used to, than like most thrashers. The guitar and like the bass really have their own sound. It's quite unique. Well, maybe not unique, but very recognizable. And like I always like hated this record. I could never really exactly pinpoint what I hated about this. I just didn't like it. So listening back to this one, I've tried it before, checking out if this record was still garbage. Last time I tried, didn't work, so trying again, listening to it, and it was kind of okay, actually. I enjoyed listening to it, but I also figured out exactly what I hated about this record. Like I said, the bass and guitar, they have their... It's a really nice and kind of unique sound. This record really has some potential, especially the way it opens. That bass and guitar just kicks in. Kind of starting weak with an instrumental song, but it doesn't really matter anyway. What I discovered that I hated about this record was the vocals. And not just the vocals, but also combined with the lyrics. It's there. I noticed that there's one song on this record that has a different kind of vocals. I don't know from the top of my head which song it was, but it has different vocal style, and that's the only song of this record that I really, really liked. It's too bad the entire record didn't have that kind of vocal style, but it really was the vocals combined with the lyrics. Maybe for 1988 they were terrifying, shocking, but nowadays I just find them quite cringy and ridiculous, especially with the vocals and how on some words, like the way he puts the emphasis on some words or some sentences, it just sounds really fucking dated and cringy. And that was why this record was so off-putting to me. Not off-putting, off-putting. Yeah, so listening back to it, it was kind of interesting to discover really what I disliked about this record in the past. But I also recognized that there was something like potential in this record, and I quite enjoyed it this time. So do I still hate this record? No, but I also don't really fully like it yet. If I come across this record, I would probably pick it up, and I think that over time, maybe if I try it again next year or whatever, maybe this record will eventually grow on me, because again, I feel that there is potential, there is something to like in this record, but there is also something that just so off-putting. I keep using that fucking word. But yeah, the vocals just don't work for me, and the lyrics are fucking ridiculous. So do I still hate this record? No, but I need to give it some time. And for the last record, yeah, listening back to this for this video, I'll get there in a minute. But I remember from the first time listening to this record that I really fucking hated it. And since then I never really listened to this record again, except for the title song, the title track, and that kept like kind of getting a joke with myself, you know, like this ongoing joke about how much I hate it, and every time someone mentions bad records, I always refer to this record as a joke. So eventually I started to forget what the rest of this record really did sound like, and all I remembered was the memory of hating this record. I don't know if that makes sense, but kind of forgetting what the record sounds like, and all I remembered was the emotion of hating the record. So I was kind of curious to actually listen back to this record. I'm talking about it's such low-hanging fruit, and I was kind of in doubt if I would pick this record at all, because again, low-hanging fruit, but I remember like really hating it. It's from 1996. It's Sepatoras Roots. Maybe there's an audience for this record, I know, but the general opinion on this record is like similar. It's fucking garbage. Now, again, like I was going back to this record, kind of forgetting what it actually was, or what it sounded like. So it was interesting. I put it on. I put the record on, well, on the internet. I don't have it physically. And halfway through the record, I just had to put it off because it was so bad. I just couldn't stand listening to any more of it. Yeah, I mean, if you like this record, fine. If you can't handle me shitting on this record, then fine. But this is my opinion, my experience with this record, and it was really fucking garbage. Like I said, I couldn't sit through the entire record. At one point I was wondering, why am I even listening to this record? I don't like it at all, so eventually I just turned it off, because I knew like the other half of the record wasn't going to convince me. I've heard enough. It was still very bad. So do I still hate this record? Yes, definitely. And I know I never will like this record. Probably never will. If I do, if you ever hear me say I like Roots, then please pull the plug. It's so fucking weird. I don't know what they were thinking. Well, I kind of respect their what they were thinking, because they wanted to do a different approach with the Brazilian traditional influences and whatever. So I do respect that, but it just doesn't work for me, especially the groovy nu metal kind of approach. It's fucking disgusting to me. So do I still hate this record? Definitely yes. But I gotta say, it was fun to listen to it again, like with a different approach, to just hear how ridiculous it was again, to hear that. So I like listening to this record halfway. I said to Mike, like, dude, this is torture. But it was fun to get into, and his original video was also really fun. So I do challenge more people to try this video, to try this idea, because I would love to see more people do this and hear about this. It's a fun and interesting idea. It kind of follows that 10 shitty records that aren't Saint Anger kind of idea. And I also really enjoyed that as well, just listening to some people shitting on records. I fucking love it. So so this is like even more interesting to see if people still dislike certain records. So yeah, I hope to see more responses to this idea, and if not, whatever. It was fun for me to do. I hope you enjoyed this video as well, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys have a great day.